Welcome to the exciting and new mini podcast. I'm Jason.
I'm Andy.
And I'm Brian.
And I'm Anthony from Parts Unknown.
Anthony from Parts Unknown.
Location
it's somewhere in the
undisclosed.
Somewhere Midwest to west. Somewhere Midwest
near
to
the
west.
Rocky Mountains, near a missile silo somewhere.
It's been a long time since we had a virtual guest on.
Yeah, what was the last thing you were on for? Was that Star Trek 2?
It might have been Wrath of Khan, yes.
Yeah.
It might have been.
Nice.
It might have been. And that was very enjoyable. And actually, I do remember that one. The one before that, I was kind of blind drunk after that, so I don't really remember
was
that
that
one. But I do remember
Halloween 3?
Or it might have been one of the Love Boat episodes.
No,
Anthony was on for
you
at
know
least
what?
a Love Boat episode.
I was in one or two Love Boat episodes. I was there live for Halloween 3, because that was the ghost weekend.
Friday the 13th.
Friday the 13th.
Friday
Friday
the
the
13th.
13th.
Yes.
Friday the 13th, yes.
Halloween 3 was a special one that we had, and that was made an appearance last week as well.
What's that?
Made an appearance last week. He
hit
played
the
the
wrong
music.
button.
Remember, he hit the wrong button?
The Silver Shamrock?
Silver Shamrock.
Oh, yeah. All right, we're doing a mini podcast.
That was one of the times.
Hey, what did you do last night, Andy?
Oh, I went to Atlantic City, Hard Rock Casino, and Auditorium, and I saw Def Leppard and Motley Crue.
There you go.
It was.
How was that?
Oh, it was very fun. So they did
How was Def Leppard?
They're good. I mean, they're pros, man. They all sound good. I said to Michelle like halfway during their set, I was like, man, I forgot how many
They were the opener?
Yeah, but they flip. I think every night they flip who's the. But this is like a special. Like they're doing 2 shows in Atlantic City, 1 in Hollywood, Florida, and then they're going to like Buenos Aires,
Vegas.
and they're just going to like South America and up Central America, and then I think
Are these makeup dates or something?
No,
maybe?
they were just like Tommy Lee explained it, saying like we just had some time in the schedule and we just like threw together some shows. So anyway, Def Leppard, they're pros. They sounded great, but I said to Michelle halfway during their set, I'm like, I didn't realize they were like so power ballad heavy, because so many of their songs are just power ballads.
Yeah,
totally. I mean, like Hysteria and now of course I'm blanking on all their songs, but anyway, they were fine. Their 3 biggest hits they play as their finale. It's Pour Some Sugar on Me, Photograph, and Rock of Ages. That was great. Motley Crue.
I saw the video.
They are 75% a very good band, but they are lacking in the one area that you really need a band to play.
Vince really needs to hang it up, man.
And he really
needs to hang it up.
really shows. It's just
and it's not like he's unprepared. It's not like he doesn't know the material. It's that he's so fat and just he cannot string together 2 words, 2 sentences in a lyric without being so out of breath he can't get the other ones out, and then he just and he just like he just does that instead of singing the words because he can't get the words out. So it's like he's the one they call. And you're like,
the
but
crowd,
you missed
the crowd
like many
takes
words.
over in the background,
And he did a lot of that. He did a lot of like putting the mic out into the crowd and just like you sing it. And 7,000 New Jerseyans were a lot better than Vince Neil. And they, Anthony, I don't remember if you saw them back in the day. I saw them back in the day, and
they had Wild Side Tour.
They had
very nice.
2 girls on the stage as backup singers back in the day,
and
very
hot girls.
Yeah,
I remember.
Oh yeah,
from what I remember.
They had 2 girls on the stage last night, but all they do is just dance around. I was like, those girls should be singing because someone needs to be backing this dude up so he does not.
I'm surprised that they weren't
himself
singing,
so much.
they didn't have them
It's
singing.
really embarrassing. I mean, like all the other. I mean, Mick Mars isn't with them now touring anymore.
I was what's his name? John 5?
Very good. Actually, he makes them sound better because he's younger. I mean, he's younger.
Fast.
Like he's like our age younger.
But he's a faster guitar player. Yeah,
and he can actually move and play. Mick Mars was like.
Does Vince still run around too? Like, why did he
not running around, but walking around? But he starts off already just being like, But Tommy Lee, man,
that sounded like really. You're spot on with it.
Tommy Lee is banging the shit out of those drums for 2 hours, man. The guy is like a pro.
He's fit, yeah.
Nikki Sixx is so good, and then Vince Neil's just up there just being a fat slob, and it's almost like. And I don't think if he lost 100 pounds it would matter. I think he's just done. And that's the one part of his band you can't lose.
Yeah.
Like if Tommy Lee and Nikki Sixx retired tomorrow and Vince Neil got 2 other people, it would still kind of sound like Motley Crue because he's singing. So you can't lose him.
You need the voice. So
anyway, it was fun. We had a good time.
Just gamble.
Michelle played a little slots. I didn't do anything, but it's amazing when you go to one of these shows of these bands that got popular in the 80s, bands that we all grew up with. Now you're going to a concert 40 years later with those people. I have never seen so many like 50 to 65-year-olds smushed into like leather jeans or leather pants and ripped t-shirts.
That sounds gross.
So much flabby cleavage and just it was really kind of sad,
dude.
And I saw one guy collapse. I saw one guy collapse, like just like fell and then got up and fell again. Like, I think I mean, I'm joking about it. I think something actually happened. I think he had a stroke or something like that. But I was like thinking of myself at Ween. So I was like, see, it happens to other people too. Like it's not just me. And
I'm glad I didn't have to deal with that though. That would have been really fucked up.
Then yeah. Well, I said to Michelle, like as they were wheeling this guy away in a wheelchair, as this poor guy is going to the hospital, the ambulance is pulling up in front of the Hard Rock. They're taking this guy away before the show even starts. I said to Michelle, I'm like, you would have just gone to the show, right? You would have been like, I'll meet you at the hospital. What are you going to do for the next 4 hours? You're going to be sitting in a bed doing nothing. I'm going to go to the show. I'll meet you at the hospital.
What's the question? Did she say she would go to the show, or would she have gone in the back of the ambulance?
She didn't poo-poo my suggestion, so I don't know what she would have done.
What would you really do? What would you really do? What would you think?
I would assume she would come with me. But if she said to me, I've never seen Def Leppard before, I really want to see them play, I'm like, that's cool. Just go.
They're opening up. I'll leave after that.
I've seen Crew a couple times, but we saw that guy.
I want to get you a T-shirt.
I saw a 90-pound girl getting arrested, like cuffed after the show, just in the lobby.
Was she hot?
Yeah, I mean, she was like a 50-year-old. Yeah, but she was 90 pounds. Sorry, 90 pounds. Like a person our age, but she was like.
You said 90 pounds. I thought you said a 19.
Sorry, no. There were no 19-year-olds at the show. And then I saw a couple fighting where secure. I'm like, man, these people cannot. Why? Why do they have to act like this? But it was a good night overall. You're
like you got to the show with all that other shit happening beforehand. I mean, geez, Louise, right?
And by the way, man, as a former smoker, it is disgusting. Like walking through a casino now is fucking foul, man. Like Michelle's like, I was at the bar. There was like there's like a cover band playing at the bar before we even went into the show. Mm-hmm. Michelle's like, I'm going to go to a slot machine. I'm like, all right. So after like 5 minutes, I was like, I'll go find Michelle. Walking through the casino, walking through the slot machines. It is. Yeah. I didn't even want to. Yeah, I didn't even want to be there. I was like, I'm just going to walk back up. I'm like, I don't want to sit here and all this smoke.
Parks is so awesome
now, but Parks
used to have smoking,
and you still smell it hanging in the air there.
So
but this
still
is getting
smoking at Parks.
No, but this is getting blown in your face. There are people and it's all old people, so they're smoking actual cigarettes too. Listen. I can't wait till I start smoking again. I got 17 more years till I can start smoking cigarettes again. But oh my god, it's so
he gets
gross.
Slower and slower with his math in his head, doesn't he?
I forget how old I am sometimes.
It's always 15, like 16, every time he does, it's like an extra second or two.
I'm like, how long till I'm 70? I'm like, oh man, it's not. It's the numbers get lower, smaller, and smaller.
When you can count it on your figures, you know it's close.
I'm a senior in high school away from being able to.
No, with all these deaths lately and everything, and you see a 52-year-old die, or you see a 70-year-old die, and you're like, I didn't think they were that old. You're like,
is that me? Like, what were they doing?
Yeah, it's just like you're like, I think I'm healthier than that person, or that person was way healthier than me, or whatever.
Yeah, most of the time I'm like, ooh, that's probably something I should be worried about. I'm not, but it's probably something I should be worried about.
When we saw 50-some-odd-year-olds when we were in our
20s,
they seemed 20s.
Yeah.
They seemed even 30s. They seemed so freaking old.
I know.
We talked about that
ourselves.
Freaking.
I mean, I still think I look fairly okay.
No, I agree. Even when we watch a movie and someone's like, you read about them as you're watching the movie, and they're like, this person's 45? Yeah, like, no way. They look like they're 78. Like, how is that possible?
Like, I think, wasn't it Vincent Gardenia in Dog Day Afternoon? With his age, whatever it was. We're like, damn, he's that old in this? We're like, he seemed like he was a lot older.
Oh, man, it's crazy. But
Vincent Gardenia.
I don't know if we just look good for our age or if it's just perspective now that we're at that age. So
you know what? I think it's better living through chemistry.
Maybe, but I mean,
it's that GMO in our food.
I'm just doing the old chemistry, just alcohol.
But you know what? I mean, I listen to Seriously Sinatra all the time when I'm working because it kind of mellows me out when I'm working. Mm-hmm. And I hear these like live shows from Sinatra, and it's from like I don't know, it's like, oh, I'm 41 years old. The guy sounds like he's 75. I'm like, I stop and I go, what? I'm like, come on, really? I mean, you look at him in 1965, and he's like 45. He looks like he's 70.
Well, we were talking about that last week when we did Cannonball Run because D. Martin and Sammy Davis. And Sammy Davis died at 65. This is like 9 years before he died. So
he was like in his 50s.
He's like 53 or something like that, which sounds very familiar. And I'm like, damn, he looked terrible there. He looked like he was dying that day.
Yeah, man.
17
he looked real bad, man.
You even stuck out your bottom jaw to do that.
And he had his one eye like shooting off to the left. Like, hey.
God bless Sammy Davis Jr.
Oh, listen, Sammy Davis and Dean and Frank, they're all awesome, but
God bless them all.
It was a different time.
It was. But you can really see what cigarettes and booze every day did something.
Yeah, I would say that's because cigarette use.
Yeah, I hope it is because I drink every day.
I mean, I smoked a pack and a half in a day up until 2017, and then I was like, done. Yeah. And it's only been what's 2017?
6 years.
Use Andy, man.
6 years.
14.
I've been smoke free, and it's amazing how much my body, thank God, has recovered.
Yeah, your
body
I've
been to the doctor
great.
many times.
This is what a good looking body looks like here.
Too bad we didn't have video of him now. He had his shirt off.
You guys. Okay, anyway.
I don't know. Topless Anthony or Eagle shirt Anthony. I'm not sure which I'd rather look at. Probably topless Anthony.
Both are losers.
Probably topless Anthony, yeah.
Oh, no, he didn't.
Oh, asshole. Wow. Fly, Eagles, fly. Go Birds.
Dude, I can't take it.
There's only one pro team in the state of Pennsylvania, and that's the Pittsburgh Steelers. Sorry, that was.
Are we digressing? We are majorly digressing, aren't we, on this Minipod?
No, all right. So, what did you watch this week? Anything, Brian?
The only thing I really watched, I rewatched 3 seasons of Review.
All in 1 week? You watched
seasons?
That? Yeah.
What is Review?
I just would let it go on. So Andy Daly.
I thought he was going to say Andy Dick.
I thought he was going Andy Dick too. Yeah.
No, Andy Daly from Mad TV.
I like Andy Daly. Yeah.
Which one's Andy Daly? I don't.
You see his face, you know it.
Glasses.
Right.
He's like a normal looking guy, but he's comedian, funny.
Yeah.
But he does this show where he doesn't review books, movies, or films. He reviews life.
Oh yeah, I know that guy.
So he gets recommendations on what to do. Like second season, the top one was murder someone, and
was this on Comedy Central?
He can veto. Like first season, he couldn't veto. Yeah, it's on Comedy Central. He couldn't veto anything. Second season, he could veto 2 things, and
Who's veto?
He vetoed the first murder, and then within the same episode, the lady was like requested.
Never mind.
Like, I don't know if I actually sent this or not, but what's it like to murder someone? And he couldn't veto it, and he's so dedicated that he set up to murder someone. And then, of course, he murders someone. And
what did you watch that on?
Trial but Paramount.
Paramount.
Okay. Yeah. I mean,
which I think is getting. Did they get bought out by Showtime,
Netflix, and HBO?
Wasn't
Max.
Paramount like owned by CBS, which is Viacom, which might own Showtime also?
I have Showtime through
CBS,
Hulu, but I'm thinking now I might get my Showtime through Paramount. I don't know, but I like Showtime a lot.
Owned by HBO, but that's
no Cinemax is owned by HBO. I think.
Yeah, because that's what HBO Max is.
Oh yeah, did we?
Yeah, Time Warner.
Anthony, did you watch anything fun or read anything fun this week?
Not anything fun, but I can tell you what I watched a little bit last season, and I'm recording this season is the new Twilight Zone with Jordan Peele.
I never watched any of the Jordan Peele Twilight. That's on Paramount as well, isn't it?
Oh, I didn't know it was out there.
Yeah, it
I
is.
think it's on Paramount Plus.
Didn't even know this existed.
I haven't watched any this season. I'm kind of building them up on my DVR. Is it on Paramount Plus?
I want to say it was on the same platform that the Star Trek was on.
Yeah, that's Paramount
at one
Plus.
point.
Yeah.
So I want to say it is.
Right,
I'm not sure it still is or not. But
I watched a couple last season just because I was like, because I was a big fan of the original. I mean, Rod Serling, the original series, I loved it so much. So when the new one came out, I'm like, Jordan Peele, and everything Jordan Peele does just annoys the hell out of me. But I'm thinking, you know what? I'll give it a chance. The first couple episodes that I watched were remakes of original series and original episodes. I loved them. I absolutely loved them. They were done very well.
What episodes did they remake? Do you remember?
Honestly, I cannot remember off the top of my head. I apologize, but
they've redone the Twilight Zone a couple times in the 80s and the 90s. And the movie, of course, too. But I always feel it's like a swing and a miss. It's almost like the Twilight Zone is
although I love the
time.
movie.
Yeah.
The newer ones that are coming out are actually
die.
That's my favorite part.
Last season, they did a couple.
Host a Twilight Zone show at one point or something.
There was some spin-off shows like Amazing Stories,
like that, or Alfred Hitchcock
like
Presents, like those kinds of same kind of things.
Truth or fiction shows that they had, like fact or fiction, I think it was. I think
last season they did a couple of remakes just to kind of pull people in a little bit. This season, I'm seeing previews of new ones that are just, they're totally new. And I think I watched one and I dig it. I really do.
All right.
So
I'll give it a shot.
I'll give it a shot.
It's done well. So, I mean, for me, I like it. So
I watched the movie today. I'll read the plot first. An overweight teen. So I got Brian right away, right?
You lost him at overweight. You had him at teen.
All right, an overweight. So I lose him first, then I cut him back. An overweight teen is bullied by a clique of cool girls poolside while holidaying in her village. The long walk home will change the rest of her life. The name of the movie is Piggy. It came out in 2022.
Oh, I think I remember seeing the commercials for that. Yeah,
that's what the picture, the trailer, or what the cover of the.
I have not even heard.
Is it a revenge?
I remember hearing about that. Yeah, I remember hearing about that.
Is it a revenge? I spit on your grave
it's
type
not,
of.
It's not so much as I spit on your grave. Like there's somebody else doing. There's other people involved in it, not just Piggy. I don't want to say too much to spoil it, but it's really, really fun. There's two versions of it though. There's a dubbed English version, which was when I went on my Hulu. That's where I watched it on Hulu. That's the one that popped up. And I had hit it, and I'm watching it, and I was like, "This is horrible sounding." You know what I mean? So then I stopped. I did a search for Piggy, and I had the regular version, and then I had the dubbed version.
What language is it?
It's Spanish.
Oh, okay.
So I watched it in Spanish with the subtitles, but because it was horrible, the dubbed version was just so bad.
Most of the time, the dubbed version is not the way to go.
Yeah. So I went with. So if you watch it, I recommend watching it that way, but. I would watch it. Really good. Fun.
I heard about it. I heard that was good. I do want to watch that. What? And you watched it on Hulu? Through Showtime, or it's on Hulu?
It said, I don't know. It didn't. I don't remember it saying Showtime in the corner, so I want to say it was regular Hulu.
All right.
Yeah.
I'll give it a shot.
Oh, because actually Michelle just looked for it upstairs, and I think she looked at it on Hulu, the trailer.
That means Michelle's already watched it without me because she.
I don't know if she would watch it without you. She didn't seem like she would start it without you, and she didn't take an edible.
She does like to do that. I watched 3 episodes of a show that I think Dana recommended last week, or maybe Brian recommended last week, and I was really into it. And as I'm going from
Dana did, and I had also seconded it.
And as I'm going from episode 2 to 3, I kind of was like, "Who's this person?" And I go online to look at the cast, and the first headline up there is Kindred canceled. I'm like, motherfucker. I'm like, I'm just not. I'm.
It was good. I watched.
Really?
I watched 4 episodes and then stopped.
I wanted to watch that.
Yeah, the first 2 episodes were really good, and then I stopped.
I was enjoying it.
I didn't watch the
episodes.
third. I was just like, damn. I guess I'm just not going to watch it. It was on
FX, and then it was playing on Hulu. That's where I was watching it.
It was that whole time shift thing. I was really getting.
I thought it was really a cool premise, and the fact that it got canceled.
When the season ends, I have to watch it.
Yeah, but the fact that it got canceled, Michelle was like, "Well, you know, it's going to end on a cliffhanger, and now it's never going to get resolved." I'm like,
they're shopping it around right now, and if it does get picked up by somebody, then I'll go back to it.
It is good. But
I'm 4 episodes in, but I'm not going to finish it. unless it gets
maybe
picked
Jeff
up.
Bezos will pick it up like he did Expanse.
Yeah, maybe. I said to Jason the other day, we have to start our own streaming service where we just pick up services or pick up shows that have been canceled and renew them, and
You really should.
and allow them to at least finish their story.
Mhm.
If that's
I'll
one
invest.
more season or 5 more seasons, just say finish it.
Well,
Like HBO always used to allow that. HBO always used to say just finish the show. I just noticed one of my pads down there, that black one's down over there, but whatever.
Yeah.
I stuck them up with nothing, so that's why. Whatever the sticky stuff on the back was. Yeah, but even HBO now is like canceling stuff before it has its chance to live its life.
That's because of that David ass.
Yeah, that fucking asshole
Yeah.
from Discovery or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean,
Apple TV Blackbird. I just finished that. I recommend that.
That's
I
another
mentioned
one.
it on
That's
here
another one
earlier,
I need to
Mini,
watch.
but it's really, really good. Check it out. It's only 6 episodes, and it's they're hour long, but I watched one at a time because it's a lot to take in. But it's powerful. I like
Is that
it a
the
lot.
serial killer
All right.
one?
Yeah.
I watched that back when it first came out, and Michelle wants to watch it now, so I'll watch that again because it's worth watching again.
Yeah.
Mari's all into this whole serial killer stuff, so she really wants to watch it too. So
Do you
Yeah,
sleep
you
with
should
one
check it
I'll
eye
be watching
open?
that next. One eye open, yeah.
All right, what's going on over there? You got anything else, Brian?
No.
No, Anthony, you got anything else?
Not off the top of my little pinhead.
All right. The only other thing I have is, in just today, I watched Neil Brennan's stand up.
Is that one called
Special,
Blocks?
Blocks.
You were talking
And
about
it's
that
on
earlier.
Netflix.
I'm interested.
I've watched the first 15 minutes, and I enjoyed it.
He is the co-writer of the Chappelle Show with Dave. Actually, he's the co-writer of Half Baked with David Chappelle. David. Like he's my dad.
He's
or
your
something like
bro.
that. But
He's your
he's
bro.
Chappelle's like writing partner, and so he did Half Baked and he did the Chappelle Show, and now he's got his own stand-up special, and it is very funny. It's also very depressing too. I mean,
He's a very depressing individual.
he goes into
Come on our podcast, Neil.
He goes into his history of attempts to medicate or otherwise get over his depression, and I mean it's kind of sad, and it kind of ends sadly. Not that he like. I mean, it's a stand-up special, so it's not like
Well, you saw what I told you. We saw his brother open for
Was that when we saw him at the
Louis
State Theater?
CK at
Louis,
State
yeah,
Theater,
that
yeah.
one. That was his brother that opened.
Kevin
huh?
Brennan. That's his brother.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
They
And
don't
you
get
said they don't
along.
get along, huh?
No.
He's the last of 10 children, he said.
Yeah.
So that's gotta be tough. Yeah, but man, the stand-up special is quite good, and he goes out of his way to introduce himself as a liberal, like the liberalist liberal of all, and then just be like, how stupid are we? And this is why it's stupid. And he talks about like gun control, and he talks about like, how come the Communist Party keeps asking me for more money, and I want to say on the checks, like, where this money's coming from, right? Like capitalism, and he does a whole thing about like, I don't want to spoil it. It's very funny. It's very deep. It's not ha funny the whole time. It's not like watching Chappelle, although Chappelle the last couple times have not been ha funny either.
Well,
but
Chappelle's
they've been really
telling
good
stories, so
yeah.
it's a little longer.
And
It's
this
not
is-
joke.
This gets into like storytelling too, but he tells a great. It's just funny. It's very.
Put your
good, very good.
headphones on.
I was
Be a
scratching my head.
professional,
Scratching
goddamn
my
it.
head. Yeah, no, it was all good. All right, so I think that's all I got.
I had that other thing. Everybody should check us out on Spreaker because there's no more penis. You can also get us anywhere you get your podcasts.
Now everybody's running to Spreaker to be like, what's he talking about with the penis?
Apple, Google, podcast everywhere. Get it. Listen, download, rate us.
I
all that
download
good stuff.
all of them.
Review.
I had never been to
All
Spreaker
of
before.
them.
It's
Jason said, what the fuck is going on?
It's
Spreaker.
Jazoo74 on Twitter, the Jazoo on Instagram. This has been a mini. I'm Jason.
I'm Andy. AE Gonzo 1 on something. AE Gonzo 1970 on something else. Apocalypse Now coming up this Wednesday. Listen to Apocalypse
Now with Tony.
Yo.
And I'm Brian, Papa Bad Kitty.
And who are you?
Agaletta. I'm Anthony Agaletta Jr. everywhere.